Right, so you may be wondering like why this version specifically? I don't really have an answer to that. I mean, it's one of the first version I played of the game and it just stood out to me, I guess. I'm not from a like the generation that played the the alpha version of it. Although I got to know the alpha versions and stuff, I didn't really play it. Like I started with this version specifically. So yeah, I used to play with friends and stuff, you know. Used to play mini games, all of that. Skywars, like the towers. Yeah, it's not the oldest version, but was the version that I knew of the game and my friends. Right now is a good time to tell you that English is not my native language. So yeah, maybe there's gonna be like big jumps in the video. That's because I'm trying to learn how to speak this language, you know. So I tend to think a little slower when I'm talking like this. So yeah, if you see like a big cut, that's because I'm just thinking about the next thing, you know. It's a little bit hard to me. Like I understand it, but it's a little bit hard to talk. Oh, hello. No, I'm not going there. Look at that thing. Old generation was something else, man. So I'm gonna start making this type of videos because first of all I wanted to like practice talking English, and but also I wanted to make kind of like a therapy thing. I don't tend to talk about myself that much, so I wanted to do this to maybe like open my heart a little. I don't know if it's the best idea to make it here and maybe in front of strangers, but I don't know. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Gonna be just talking a lot of things, hoping that well, my hoping that my English gets better, and also that maybe someone out there will see this and maybe relate with the situations I'm going. What situation though? You might be wondering. And that's like the hard part, because I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, I know one thing for sure is that I have some kind of anxiety disorder. Like I don't really like to self-diagnose, like make a self-diagnosis. I don't know how to say that. You get the point. I don't really like to do it, but there's things that are like way too obvious. Like just pressing record on OBS made me anxious, and I was nervous, you know, like, and I was thinking like, do I make notes of different topics to talk about in the video? Should I make it all come natural? I don't know. So yeah, sometimes there's like really like little things that just make me go nuts. Like I get pretty nervous just stepping outside, you know. It's not that I'm like all day like that, but it's not an all day thing. Most of the time I can calm myself down and just keep going, you know. I'm saying you know a lot. I'm sorry. But yeah, I tend to get pretty nervous about everything in general. Like this, it's Monday right now. I don't know when I will be uploading this, but this Saturday it's my one of my friends is planning a big party, and I'm all in for it. Like, who doesn't like to party, you know? But then I feel like I have this two side kind of thing, because years before I didn't go out that much. I was pretty reserved and all that, an introvert at heart. Yeah, and in those times, like, I felt that going out, I mean, just thinking of going out back then will make me pretty nervous. Like, well, what should I wear, or what should I talk about? How do I approach these like new people? Because there's always new people to meet, you know, especially at big parties and stuff. And right now, like, I do kind of have the same problem. I struggle to meet new people, and that's another thing that make me a little anxious, just meeting people, really. Now, as time passed, I did grew out of my shell a bit, and oh, a village. And I started going out with friends more. Started drinking, you know, started smoking and stuff. The normal, you know, the normal experiences that anyone could have at one point in its life. But I don't know, like, yeah, I feel like, oh, okay. Is he mad? Okay. Yeah, so I feel like at one point I was confident enough to like go out with friends and stuff, but still, like, if I were to go out, you know, drink and stuff, it will be only with my friends, you know, people I knew from the past. And if there were big events, I didn't really know how to talk to these new people, you know. It's always so hard. I don't know why. So right now, present time, it's weird because I feel like I have this two side thing. Like, on one side I'm still an introvert, and but then I also like to party with my friends. So, and like, don't get me wrong, like, I do have good friends. They know the problems that I have, and they take good care of me. But still, you know, for me it gets difficult sometimes, and it's kind of stressing. Now, as I said before, and I like to do self diagnosis, but at the same time there is stuff that it's obvious, you know. There are certain thoughts that can confirm that I had, maybe I still have depression, and I don't really remember like how it started, but I do remember a couple of times where I was like thinking to myself, like, do I really, like, could I have depression? Because yes, anxiety was one thing, you know, like, I could live with anxiety, but then when I started thinking about depression, like, my whole view just changed. I started thinking about more my day-to-day life, and how I was living, and how was I gonna keep living. I remember like thinking back then, like, can I really survive in this world? And it's not that I got like a pretty difficult life or anything, but I did saw just the struggles of the world from an early age, I guess, which really, I think it really impacted in the way I see things today. I don't know how the grade systems work in your country, but let's say I was like on my last year of school, and okay, so last year of school, the year before that is when It's like the earliest memory that I have of thinking or having depressive thoughts. So I was like, yeah, so I was like 12, 13, which I mean it's part of a like a normal thing, like as a pre-teenager or as a teenager. Like I knew that I was gonna have that kind of problem, you know. Like I knew it was normal, but I think I saw it like I think I normalized it too much to the point where I will feel like shit and I didn't tell anyone because I thought it was a normal thing to happen to me. And then I remember as the year passed, I got out of school and then entered high school. Is it high school? It's school, high school, and college, right? So I entered high school and I kind of like still feel the same, and that's when it really started to worry me. But then I was so used to it that I really didn't know how to control it or how to talk anybody about it, that I just kept it to myself, which in the long run affected me until today. Like really when I think of how I used to feel and how I feel today, sometimes it feels like nothing really changed. Like I'm not referring to like brand situations or like it's all like a mental thing, I guess. I mean, yeah, it is a mental thing. What am I talking? So yeah, now I have like a couple of problems. I think they started back then when I didn't really know what was happening to me or how to seek help, which, you know, it has to affect you in some kind of way. For me, it did. Like I spent a lot of years like getting these depressive thoughts now and then, and I always did the same. Like I just kept it to myself. I didn't really talk to anyone. I mean, there were moments when I felt terrible, and I'm like, okay, I gotta tell at least one of my friends. And then I did, and it turns out they were kind of feeling the same. So we heard each other, but like, what else could we do, you know? Like, yeah, we heard each other, but we're still feeling like shit. So anyway, like as time went on, I started to get used to it again. And as I started to get used to it again, I didn't find like the necessity of asking for help or seeking help. I just started living my day-to-day life like if it was whatever, you know, which really was a pretty bad mistake to make. Because now, like, I do have kind of days where, well, and that's the thing too, like these depressive thoughts before they were like very clear. It's hard for me to explain it, but there were very like certain things. And nowadays when I do have like these depressive episodes, it's not really clear why am I feeling like this or what am I even thinking. It's just an emotion, it's a feeling, and it gets really weird. Like for a long time I would define it as this feeling of void. It was like a void in my mind. Like I couldn't really feel anything. I knew I was feeling bad, but I also couldn't do anything about it. So I kind of was in this like limbo kind of thing. Oh, and I didn't really know how to get out of there. There were pretty, like, there were some pretty difficult times out there. Had some pretty difficult times. Like I didn't really know how to feel. Or I guess I knew what I was feeling, I just didn't know how to stop feeling it. Now, in most recent times, I've tried, not so hard though, to get some help, you know, some psychological help, some real help. And in my university, you have, and I guess all universities have like a psychologist or a therapist or something. So I went there and you know, I said like I was looking for help. There's a bunch of cows here. So I was like asking for help, you know, it was this woman who I talked to. She was very nice to me and, you know, kind of helped me realize a little bit. Like, she told me she really couldn't give me a diagnosis. Because I remember I told her, like, this one time I was really nervous about going into a class and that my heart was like pounding real hard. And then I did tell her like that I used to feel nervous all the time, and then it has like decreased. Like there have been less times now when I get nervous, but when I do find myself in that situation, like I think it's worse than before. So yeah, I explained all of that to her, and then she told me that she wasn't, since, and I guess this is because it's just like a consultant and it's not really a thing of patient and therapist. But she told me that she cannot give me a diagnosis, but she told me it was, she told me she couldn't really give me a diagnosis, but that I was probably having panic attacks. And then I realized that were a lot of moments in my life where I felt like my heart wanted to jump out of my chest, but I remained calmed, you know. And for me, it was just anxiety. I didn't really know it was panic attack. Like I just knew what everyone assumes is a panic attack, like that you cannot really breathe and you can't really react to anything, and you're like in a shock, you know. But right there I understood that panic attacks don't always come in that form, and I realized I've been having these panic attacks for a long time now. Like there was this one time when I was with my dad, you know, we were doing some paperwork for college and stuff. It was like my first year, not even what I'm studying today. It was like another career, and there was like this. It was like this time where we, like, I don't even know why, but we parked along the side of the road. You know, got out of the car, and as I'm walking, I don't know, I'm thinking like very fast. Like a lot of things comes to my mind, and then all of a sudden I feel this thing in my chest, like a needle through my heart. And I remember trying to be calm and not like show it. I don't really know why. Like I should have just asked me that, like, dude, like I feel bad now, but it's really like I didn't. And I think part of it was because I don't really talk about those things with my dad. I mean, nowadays I rarely talk about it with him. Like, it's very difficult to talk to him about this type of things, because I think it's because I know that he's not really going to get what I'm trying to say. Like last year I wanted to like put a little pause on my studies, you know, get a hold of myself and, I don't know, work somewhere, and then, you know, get money, get a therapist, all of that. but I had to like ask my dad about it first, you know. And I am studying for free. Like I do have that benefit, but still, it was like I have the opportunity to study something that I love, which is music production. And you know, to tell my dad that I'm gonna stop studying for a while is like, and for him, it's like, dude, you have this opportunity. Like I wish I had this opportunity when I was your age, you know. And I'm not really like blaming my dad or anything. I know what he's gone through because he's gone through it with me and my mom. And since I know what he's been through and what we've been through, it feels hard to tell him like that I'm like, it feels like I'm turning down something that others will wish for, you know. So when I'm still oh manch. So when I'm thinking about like pausing this career for a minute, I'm like, damn, I gotta tell my dad this, like. And just thinking about it, just thinking about the fact that I had to like tell my dad about it, I just oh, like I got really nervous about it. And I remember spending like a whole week thinking about like how to tell my dad this. I guess it wasn't even a week, like it was like a really long time. Like I was thinking about it like for a month or something. But then I was like, okay, I gotta tell my dad now. Like I feel kind of prepared, but I wasn't really prepared. Like I had to write something down on my phone, and then I was like, we were like in the car, like he was, and I remember I texted him and like saying like I need to talk to you about something, and just sending that, like really, like my heart was just like crazy. And then I couldn't really talk to him, so I put something in my phone. Was like, I need you to read this. Like I know, and you know that I really have like this struggle about talking with you about my problems. And I was like, so here, read this. And he was pretty cool about it, but he told me that I needed to like finish the year, and then I could take the whole next year into doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do, you know. And I felt kind of happy in that moment. Like I knew like he had my back and everything. But then shit happens, you know. Life's not fair, and my university got like money cut. I don't really know how to say it. Like they cut their incomes, and they couldn't really keep functioning as an institution, so they sold out to another university. And then all hell broke loose. Like there were people saying like, what's gonna happen to us? Like, are they gonna respect our time, like the career? Like what happens with our careers? Like, are we gonna get a new place to study? Are we gonna keep the same place? Like, it was a very difficult time. And then when all that happened, like I talked to my dad about it again, and now I feel in the obligation of not really pausing my studies. Like now I just want to finish it, and then get a year for myself. And like it's a good thing. Like now I have a plan for it, but it's a very long plan. Like I still have this year, and like I still have to study this year, and then the next one, and then it's over. Like I still have a long time to finish my career and then take a time for myself, which might not be the best, but I can have, like I can secure myself a year. But again, it feels like I'm kind of stuck. Like again, it feels like nothing really changed. Like I'm still studying. I still haven't seen like an actual therapist. So yeah, kind of like I kind of feel like I'm in a loop. Now there's been some recent days where I will feel bad, but then I will just go on with my day and will kind of forget about it, or I will kind of like there's been a moment or two between this year and last year where me and my friends like realized that we are kind of all in having like the same struggles. Should I jump? Yeah, fuck it, let's jump. Whoop. Oh. So yeah, we realized that we're all like kind of in the same page. Like we all have these type of mental struggles, and we're all dealing with the same things. You know, and it's mostly because we're all from the same generation. You know, I'm talking about friends that I've had for the last 10 years, more than 10 years. You know, we've been friends, which tells you that they are really good friends, you know. And I really like love them with all my life. Shit. But yeah, I kind of realized that since we're all having the same problems, we have to, I mean, we have to like help each other out, you know. We gain nothing right now from keeping it all to ourselves, but still it's difficult for me to like tell them how long I've been feeling like this, and or how do I really feel. I don't know if it's because I don't really wanna worry them or anything, because I know they will help me, you know. I know they will help me in any way if they can, but just talking about it really it's so hard for me. I was thinking into getting diamonds, like we're on Y11, like there. Maybe we could just street mine somewhere. Maybe we could get out of here. So yeah, that's like that's my day-to-day life now. Like there's days where I feel like shit, you know, there's days and days, man. And like what bothered me the most is just the fact that there's been lots and lots of time when I will think that there's like nothing that I can do about it, that I just have to live like this. And but then I think about like the way we've changed with my friend as people, you know, and I'm like, nah, there is something I can do about it. But I've grown accustomed to this feeling, and I guess I'm kind of afraid of change. And I know it's gonna be a good thing, but still, like, it's gonna be a change in my reality. So yeah, there's sometimes where I doubt that I will really change, but there's another part of me that thinks that there is possible change to be made, and that could mean living a better life. But there's always this other side that just finds it all kind of impossible. And although I know, like I know a change is possible, the side of my mind that tells me that why would I even change like girl good like this? I don't know. Really feel divided. Now I'm sorry if this is like way too deep. Like damn, I really didn't think I was gonna say all of this, but there it is. Fuck it. I was thinking maybe we could do a little something here, you know, a little base, a little house. Because I mean, what else are you gonna do playing an old version of Minecraft? You know, I was thinking maybe playing this and listening to Deftones is not a very good idea. Maybe that's why I opened up so much, man. Damn. Well, you know, maybe we don't have a house yet, but I think I'll leave it here. It's kind of late. I am taking inspiration from another creator who plays Minecraft, but the alpha version. You know, he does alpha gameplay and does his like commentary and stuff. And I wanted to do like my version of it, but I don't know. I think it's turning like way too deep. Yeah, but I really didn't think like I was gonna talk this much about myself. But well, as I said before, I am doing this for kind of a therapy kind of thing. I don't really know how to call it. But yeah, I just gonna leave it here, and all next videos are going to all be like this, you know. I'm just gonna make some cuts, add some music, you know, and play like a normal Minecraft 1.5.2 world. If you have any tips on how to improve my English pronunciation, I will gladly read it. And yeah, if you like it, just make sure to leave a like and share it. You know, comment something below. I don't really know. I'm not expecting this to be like a big thing, but if one day we get to it, then yeah,